So throughout my career as a supposed industry plant, I've noticed something within the gacha community that left me scratching my head. After seeing a couple comments left in my videos and discussions surrounding Arknight's Enfield, I'm an Enfield YouTuber by the way if you're new here, I noticed something that people who play live service games, or gacha in this case, seems to have a negative stigma towards the idea of quitting a game. There are many reasons why someone would want to quit playing a gacha game. These reasons include the fact that there are plenty of other games they could play, whether that be another live service game or a single player experience. Another reason would be that new game releases happens and they might want to make their time for it. Upcoming gacha games include Neverness to Everness, Ananta, and the one I'm interested at, Silver Palace. Competition is great, so I only hope that all of these games are good, so that we have more options. I also hope for them to have their own niche to keep players interested at their games. Speaking of other games though, they might just not like the game for any reason. They might just not like the gacha system, game mechanics, etc. Then there's the fact that they may have had a negative experience from the community of any game. Or maybe they just don't have enough time to play. They're too busy with their real-life responsibilities or have other obligations going on there. Or simply, someone may just want to take a break from the game, or gaming in general, which is okay by the way if you feel like you need to do that. I used to play Genshin Impact around the COVID, and I really enjoyed it. You know, I enjoyed my time with it and stuff, but I ended up not really liking the direction that the game was heading because of Hoyoverse and their decisions. So what did I decide to do? I quit. I mean, like, there's like the whole toxic discourse surrounding Genshin Impact back then and stuff like that. So, you know, I also just decided to quit the entire gacha community in general for like years until I came back pretty recently. So again, you can always just quit or, you know, take a break and stuff like that. And, you know, discussions really don't have to be toxic, man. Also, I just want to make this clear because I'm worried that there's going to be someone that's going to be saying, oh, haha, Hoyo community love bad. I don't have a problem with the Hoyoverse community. It was back then when it was like really bad, but sure, there's still the bad actors, but I mean, every community has those, right? But regardless of your reasons of wanting to quit or consider quitting a game, there is nothing wrong with that. I think people need to take a step back and realize that these are video games, and getting attached to any of these gacha companies in an unhealthy manner, it is not good for your mental health, whether that be parasocially or being overly negative. Live service games as a concept sounds amazing. A game that never ends, a game that you can invest a lot of time into, a game that constantly evolves. But if we look at its execution, it takes a lot of time, money, and resources to make a live service game, let alone constantly maintain one. It is difficult to live up to that concept. Naturally, there's going to be content droughts, mistakes are going to be made, and there's outside factors that could affect the game negatively. I think people need to remember that these gacha companies are in it for the business of making money. Just look at the potential profits you can make here with FGO and Genshin Impact, showing how profitable this industry really is. It doesn't matter how generous they are or how good the game is. At the end of the day, they want to make money to maintain the game and increase their profits. In terms of player feedback, naturally, we want them to make decisions that are made outside of that business sense. And for the gacha company, it's a tug of war in terms of the predatory side of their game. Gacha games use manipulative tactics to get players playing. Some examples of this would be including fear of missing out, optimizing meta, and RNG within both the gacha system and the gameplay systems. There are common design aspects with these games like microtransactions, leveling grind, stamina system, and pay for convenience. These games are designed around habit formation, in this case daily grinds to keep you coming back. With this context, you begin to understand why gacha game discussions can turn toxic at times and why the perception of quitting is bad. But I'm here to say that there's nothing wrong with quitting. If you don't like a game, it is perfectly okay to stop playing. It does seem hard because gacha games are fundamentally made to keep you playing and form unhealthy habits, but you need to understand that this is a video game. Think about why you play them. In my case, Aw, dang it. Might have a gambling addiction. Oh my god. Oh, what the fuck? But quitting should be seen as a bad thing. There is no game that can keep you playing forever. That concept never existed. There would be times when even your favorite game can seem pretty daunting to play. You should only play a game because you enjoy it. Do not force yourself to play something you clearly do not like. Do not base your entire personality on these games. It's okay that the game you love might not be perfect. It's okay that they have problems, and it's okay for people to criticize the game. It's a piece of media that is made to be enjoyed by a demographic of people, and some might just simply be not part of that demographic, or they have critiques of the game that could potentially improve it. But the reverse of this is true as well. Being overly negative at a community just because you don't like a game or feel threatened by another community is unhinged behavior. Going out of your way to ruin everyone's day isn't doing anyone a favor, and that would not make your game you like or the other's game anything better. In other words, your criticism is not made in good faith and you're just being an ass. Hell, it wouldn't even give you a share of that gacha revenue. So why defend a gacha company so hard that you'll attack anyone else that isn't part of your community and be overly bitter about a different game just for some agenda that doesn't even give you anything in return? I'm pretty sure the gacha game company that you're so hardcore defending don't like the negative publicity that you're giving them. Anyway, so back on topic. Quitting a game is okay because a game is not meant to last forever. Not even a live service game can last forever. Sure, there are some games that could potentially risk end of service, but it is up to the business if it's worth your time or not. Okay, personal example here is Tribe 9. I played the game day one and I was like, I didn't really like the game, so I stopped playing it and I was like, oh, I'm gonna go back in a year. But then I found out that it ended service and I was actually very sad about that. But yeah, it's just unfortunate that things like that happen. Some games will die early because of that. And well, for others, people say it'll end of service, but it won't. I'll go back to the point of having an agenda that isn't even worth fighting for. So, if you've ever considered quitting a gacha game for any reason whatsoever, think about what you enjoyed versus what you didn't like. Then think if it's worth your time or money if you're someone who wants to spend on these games. If you disliked it more than you liked it, then I would recommend that you take a step back from the game. At the end of the day, play the games you enjoy and be reasonable with your criticisms. So what's the conclusion in all of this? Arknights Enfield is going to EOS tomorrow. Administrator on service.